listener friend, I've got a tale that I must defend, about a world where freedom fell, and I'm the one who knows it well, you see. And I've read the book with care, analyzed each symbol there. Though I lack the lived experience, my expertise is quite immense. I'm mansplaining the Handmaid's Tale with confidence that cannot fail. Though women wrote it, lived it, felt it, I'm the one who can help you get it. Mansplaining, mansplaining, mansplaining. The irony is entertaining, but trust me when I break it down, I'm the smartest guy around. Now June's rebellion, let me explain the symbolism in her pain. The red dress means fertility, I learned that from the TV. The patriarchy's iron fist is something that I can't have missed. But though I've never felt oppressed, my analysis is still the best. I'm mansplaining the Handmaid's Tale with confidence that cannot fail. Though women wrote it, lived it, felt it, I'm the one who can help you get it. Mansplaining, mansplaining. The irony is entertaining, but trust me when I break it down, I'm the smartest guy around. Now some might say it's quite absurd for me to have the final word on stories about women's plight, but clearly I've got better sight. The themes of power, loss, and rage are better viewed from my male stage. So gather round and hear me speak about the truths that women see. I'm explaining the Handmaid's Tale. My podcast wisdom will not fail. Though Margaret Roper women know I'm here to steal the whole darn show. Oh, mansplaining, mansplaining, self-awareness, that's for training. So tune in weekly, don't you frown. I'm the smartest guy in town. Welcome to the podcast, friends, where male perspective never ends.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the Daily Dose of Dawn. Oh, it's for my beloved ADHD audience today. It is the Season 5 recap. Quick show, so we will get right on to it, I suppose. I see I'm playing as Wiggler again. We are out in the desert. I forget what the frig this is called. Balmy Dunes or some BS. I don't know. But we'll see how much we get through of this, and then we'll probably have a back 9 edition tomorrow. Cool, alright. So, anyways, as you may recall, Season 4 ended with June finally murdering Fred and sending his finger right to Serena to let her know it was her. June at the end is playing with the baby, and Luke is confused as fuck. Well, Season 5 opens up. June seems to be pleasantly dreaming of Fred's murder. Then she gets up, and she makes a failed attempt at washing blood off her hands. She makes a few attempts at that. None of them work. I feel like there's some kind of metaphor for that going on. But anyways, while acting loopy, she confesses to Luke and Moira, "Yeah, bitch, I killed Fred." And then she drives off. And she gets a little nutty at a lake. And she gets picked up by the police. where she also admits to the murder of Fred Waterford. Now, at that point, a prosecutor explains to her, well, you know, we ain't super happy with the idea of refugee guests in our country murdering people. At the same time, this didn't happen on our land, so we don't give a fuck. Alright. We are also introduced to Nick's age-appropriate girl or wife, whom this time he apparently actually loves. She seems to know about June and be cool with it. So that's definitely some ride or die shit for her. And it's also eventually mentioned that she is, I am pretty certain, the top commander's daughter, is what Nick says. So Nick is pretty smart, man. He gets her pregnant fast. There is a bit of a mention of genetic disorders as well. We'll see what happens with that. Let's go on Nick for locking that one down. Yeah, I screwed that up. Alrighty. So the Canadian government scoops up Serena for her own protection. Tells her all about Fred's murder, shows her the pictures and the finger and everything, and Serena's immediately like, oh shit, that was June, and they're like, yeah, no shit. Mark, of course, lets her know, well, this took place in the disputed territory of the border, so yeah, the Canadian government's not gonna prosecute. So, shit. Serena's a little fucked right now because she's stuck as a single mother to be in Gilead, and they're not super friendly to that. Shit. We also learn that Emily has returned to Gilead. Still as pissed as fuck at June about it, says she won't let her know if she hears from her. I honestly kind of wonder, you know, that it's stuff like that that makes me kind of almost interested enough to read the book, because I wonder if that's like the actress didn't want to come back for the next season, and that was how they wrote her off. But hey, you know, makes sense for her to do that too. So good for them. Alright. So, Serena insists on bringing Fred's body back to Gilead and having a great big old funeral. Every idea that she has is shot down and then eventually agreed to, usually by Lawrence on both accounts. Usually Lawrence shoots it down and then he goes in there as a man and offers it. So Fred gets a great big televised funeral in Gilead, putting to rest this would-be traitor. And on top of that, Serena is on live TV with a little girl in a purple dress. That is definitely Hannah. Oh shit, that pisses June off quite a bit. So the purple dress basically means that she is a plum. She is in wife school right now. She's 12 years old and they are training her to get married off to some commander douchebag. And, well, it doesn't really sound like there's much control over what happens. It's basically said, yep, it's gonna happen. This is Gilead, it happens. Oh, shit. Now then, unfortunately, this information costs quite a bit. June and Luke are captured trying to recross the border after getting this info. Luke gets a small taste of what June has been putting up with for about 7 years now. So that's kind of interesting. They spent a few days in jail, but they are eventually identified, separated, and trucked off. Ooh, where are they going? Obviously not to the same place. Alright. So meanwhile, Serena has been completely released from Canadian custody. Okay? She has been made an ambassador for Gilead. Unofficially, apparently. So she's, basically, she's put up in the cultural center, but June is definitely not leaving her alone and is gonna kill this bitch. So she instead needs to be put up in this nice little Gilead-style couple. The Wheelers. Now, interestingly enough, they're definitely Gilead people, but it is mentioned Mr. Wheeler does not answer to those commanders in Gilead. So, Also, they make it pretty clear that their plan is to steal Serena's baby. Serena, of course, is like horrified at the idea that somebody would steal her baby because, yeah, she's basically a dumb bitch like that. Okay. Mr. Wheeler, though, he lets Serena know a little surprise. It's like, hey, looks like one of my teams, they captured June Osborne out in no man's land. They got her there, and I'm sending Ezra out there. He's gonna shoot her right in the face, bam, and it's gonna be all done. Alright? Now Serena, 9 months pregnant and ready to pop, is insisting, hey, I need to be able to tell my baby that June Osborne is dead. Alright? Because, I mean, that bitch has already tried to kill us a couple of times. So I'm going along, and bam, you know, I want to see her die. Mr. Wheeler ain't really all that happy about it, but he decides to play along. Screw it. Send her out there. In hindsight, it's real dumb, even being honest, but alright. Alright, we are definitely trucking right along, folks, so just let me take a moment before I forget, and let's make sure we take our time to remind y'all to like, subscribe, share, comment, interact any way you want to. Does not really matter what you say. Just tag the page, tell me I'm an idiot, tell me I'm a genius. I'm probably not really leading it anyways, so. Definitely, you know, no, I kid. Okay, well, if it's on the page, I'll probably read it. Oh, alright, then. Ezra and Serena drive out to meet the truck June is on, and they collect her. Oh, Serena tells Ezra, hey, I need to shoot this bitch. I want to shoot her. And Ezra's like, yeah, sure, okay. And Serena with the gun to June's head, and there's a back and forth, and I'm sitting there like, it's like Austin Powers. I'm like, man, why don't you just fucking shoot her? And then boom, Serena shoots Ezra. Fuck. She puts the gun to June's face, tells her to get in the car and drive. And so they do. And eventually Serena's like, fuck this shit. And so she just gets out and runs away. And then Serena drives the car into a ditch. And then goes into labor. And they basically have a nice little bonding night in the fucking manger, giving birth to friggin' the baby Noah. Oh boy. Well, after the baby's born, June is like, yeah, you see, Serena, this is one of those times where you go to the hospital because you need, like, drugs and stuff. Razzed. And Serena reveals, oh, she can't go there, man. The Wheelers are trying to steal her baby. I fucking... What the fuck, man? And of course, Serena then spends a bunch of time bitching to June about, like, can you believe that somebody would try to steal my baby? Because, like, yeah, that's terrible. And June is just like, what in the fuck is your problem? Jesus Christ. But Serena eventually goes to the hospital where June is reunited with Luke because apparently Wheeler's team just like tossed him back over the border and was like, get your garbage out of here, Canada. Alright. Sure. Okay then. Hold on here. Whee. Alrighty. So, alright, but Luke comes with a little surprise of his own. It turns out when Serena jumped the border, she broke her agreement. So, Luke called Canadian immigration on her bitch ass. Oh, shit. And she's getting her baby taken away, too. Oh, boy. Luke's enjoying that shit. Serena's a bit conflicted, but, boy. Yeah, this season is basically all about Serena getting herself pretty fucked. Alright. Alright, so in the meantime, back in Gilead, Lydia is told that they found Janine, and she is super happy to have her back because she has a new handmaid, the former Mrs. Keys. Now Esther, Janine seems to get Esther behaving a little bit under control. Esther eventually is set to be posted with Warren Putnam's recurring characters who keep showing back up, but she is introduced to Warren, and of course Warren takes her in the back and introduces her to some cock, and then later on that night, Esther feeds herself and Janine some poison chocolate, putting them both in the hospital. Now Lydia is like super worried about Janine because they got the whole thing going on, the whole like Janine is the child Lydia never had thing going on, And she is slowly actually learning that hey, it turns out these religious dudes are actually terrible, terrible people. Wow, holy fuck, who would have ever known? So basically, alright, where was my damn place? Alright. With both of them now in the hospital, Janine wakes up first, and of course she reminds Lydia, like, hey, I warned you about Esther and how she was crazy abused by the last guy, and, you just sort of kept going with it, and Lydia begins to see the point and starts looking for change. But she now likes the colonies idea where the girls stay with her, and the commanders just come over there for the ceremony. And of course Lawrence points out, these are pious men, Lydia. You know that. Do I? Don't you? Well, Maybe Lydia didn't know that, but she's learning. Alright. That way into there, then. Okay, then. Well, she learns a lot more 3 weeks later when the doctor reveals that Esther is pregnant. Now, how could that have happened? Because she never got posted. She was supposed to be posted the next day, and they're only supposed to fuck the handmaid during the ceremony. So Lydia questions Esther, and Esther reveals to Lydia that she was raped by Warren, and she really doubts that friggin' Lydia gives a shit, to be honest with you. Probably has good reason to think that. So Lydia now takes this rape to Lawrence's attention, whom, again, going into, well, alright, I'll save that for later. We'll just say what happens, okay? So, Lawrence at first is like, hey, great, he got her pregnant. That's what we want. Yeah, but, like, and Lydia was like, yeah, but not by rape. We don't want that. And Lawrence, whom, like, yeah, is like, whatever, however the fuck it happened. But then Lawrence kind of realizes, oh, shit, this is a bit of a problem for me. You see, on the side note, Lawrence has got this little project going on he calls New Bethlehem. Alright? What he wants to do is invite back all the traitors who have left and escaped Gilead. And he wants to give them full amnesty and basically just a little bit more liberal local government. It's basically Lawrence's current way of trying to, basically trying to do better. Okay? Now, poor Commander Putnam, on the other hand, he's like, yeah, fuck them traitors and fuck all of them. And it's crazy that he's the one, because, I mean, he is like the one who just doesn't fucking learn and keeps doing the whole rape shit, but whatever. Alright, so Putnam's like, yeah, fuck your Project New Bethlehem. And then all of a sudden Lawrence is like, oh, alright, well, yeah, I just told about how this pregnancy that everybody's going to learn about is definitely rape, and everybody's going to know that it was rape, by the way. I mean, you literally impregnated her before she was even posted. And so, yeah. Basically, Warren ends up getting taken outside and shot in the head. Right in front of his wife. Oh, shit. You see, it's still the Gilead's wacky, zany system. Basically, him now having 2 children would have made him powerful enough to kill this New Bethlehem idea. But now, Lawrence, with now having had Warren killed, his Naomi's daughter, Naomi, Warren's wife, and the daughter Angela need a place to live. Oh shit. So Lawrence is like, yeah, you can move back in here. You can be my wife. So now Lawrence is basically presumably going to have a wife and 2 babies. So his political power should increase greatly. Now, Lydia tries to finally square things with Janine by introducing the idea to allow Janine to handmaid for Lawrence and Naomi. See, I think Lydia's probably figured out Lawrence ain't really into the ceremony anyways, and so and she don't want to be a poster as a handmaid, so That's probably like the best deal she's gonna get. And on top of that, she'd get to be with her daughter. Well, right after. Oh boy. Well, actually, yeah. We got to move up a little bit farther on there before we go into that. Alright. Oh, so Lawrence takes a trip up to Canada to talk with the families about New Bethlehem. And of course, he's got to stop in on June because she is the major thing he wants for New Bethlehem. Okay. Like, if she goes, then others will follow. She's the symbol now at this point. And he is offering her the world, by the way. He's like, Nick will be the commander. You will put Hannah there when she gets married, which is probably gonna be pretty soon. You know, sorry, your 12-year-old daughter's getting married, but you know, you can be there. Sounds so terrible, but at the same time, I mean, if you maybe you get a husband, you luck out, you get a husband that's like not a pervert, and he's just like, all right, and can you talk to her and unbrainwash her so she doesn't turn me in for being gay? I don't know. We're going off here. Going off a little bit here. Anyways. Lawrence then makes another stop over at the Immigration Detention Center to spring Serena. But it isn't without a price. Yeah, that's right. You're going to live with the Wheelers. That's the only way you're going to remain any kind of Gilead protection or anything. You got to live with the Wheelers. Serena, of course, tells Lawrence, what are you talking about? I can't live with them. They're trying to steal my baby. Lawrence having the best fucking reaction. You have an irony deficiency, Serena? It's like that was where she looked like she was finally getting it. So Mark stops by to tell June that, hey, the U.S. can't really afford to lose her to Gilead. Lawrence is right. You're a symbol. More will follow, and we've lost too many citizens already. Can't afford to lose any more. Alright, but with the intel Luke and June gathered, we got some good news. We found Hannah's wife's school. Alright, so you stick with us, stick in America, and we're going to fly in under Gilead's radar and save Hannah and like 29 other girls. Okay? We're only going to take the stolen girls. We're going to fly in quick, in and out. And it's going to be great. And you know it's going to be great because we meet the guy who's in charge of it. We get to put a face with him, probably a name too, but I don't remember what it was. And of course he's like, oh, that's right, man. I have a daughter too. My job is to bring back your daughter and come home safe to my daughter. Oh, yeah. It's super sad when he's dead. Because, yes, they fly in, as soon as they cross over the border, BAM! Shot him down. It's a trap! Oh, fuck. Yeah. Oh, shit. In the meantime, the Wheelers continue slowly baby snatching Noah until Serena finally breaks. She asks for a little privacy to breastfeed the kid, and like, yeah, she's like, oh, runs out the door, flags down a car, tells the woman, just drive, which is great. Yeah, well, lady driver is who's gonna friggin' save you, even better. And Serena is off to the races. And in the meantime, Lawrence calls June to check in, and June lets him know, yeah, after that stunt, we are done, bitch. You know, Lawrence points out, he's like, yeah, like, I got a country to defend, and you guys were planning on stealing a bunch of kids from us. That, you know, granted, it's a warped point of view, but from their point of view, they do seem to actually believe are theirs. You know, it's very, very nuanced. Of course, then June then tells Lawrence, hey, by the way, I watched your fucking wife kill herself, and I could have helped her, but nope, I just let it happen. So, fuck you. And Lawrence, he's like, yeah, honestly, I kind of figured you had something to do with that. Yeah, makes sense. So this turned out to be a pretty bad time to burn Lawrence, okay? Because while celebrating slaughtering Americans, Mackenzie tells Lawrence, hey, pretty sure it's time to deal with June. And combine that with the growing anti-American refugee sentiment in Canada, June is run over by a truck. On purpose. Motherfucking truck runs her over, backs up, runs her arm over. Yeah, you know, and then Luke grabs him and pulls him out of the car, beats the shit out of him. June is brought to the hospital. Luke's got to go in for questioning. The driver's brought to the hospital. Oh, shit. Now, just to jump back over to Gilead and wrap up Janine's story. So, Janine is told by Martha of the attempt on June's life up in Canada. She escaped and she's still not safe. Well, this definitely rattles the shit out of Janine. So, Naomi Putnam, who is under a shitload of stress herself right now. I mean, mind you, like, she's got, I don't know how they're going to handle Esther's kid, but I assume that'll still probably go to her. And she's got Angela, but Angela, I guess, is with the grandparents. So she's like, well, we'll give this a trial period. But she's got some shit going on herself. And she kind of implies, like, well, it'd be nice to have a friend around here. And that's where Janine is like, oh, bitch, we are not friends. Yeah. No. And Janine goes off on her ass and is like, And the next scene, Lydia is telling Janine, you stupid fucking girl, you had the fucking best deal anybody could have ever asked for, and you threw it away. And well, while she's in the middle yelling at her, the Guardians come in, and they just grab Janine. And they haul Janine off, and Lydia's kind of like, whoa, what are you doing? It's my responsibility to punish her. Get off of her. And Lydia actually gets to the point, like, where the Guardians get their hands fucking on her. Like, bitch, throw her ass to the ground. Oh, shit. Toss Janine in the back of the truck, and she's in there with the other Martha that told her about Jean getting assaulted. Oh, shit. Alright, so June and Luke realize, alright, a couple days later, the guy that Luke beat up, that attacked June with the truck, he dies from his wounds in the hospital. Which means that now Luke has killed a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil. So, oh shit. So, they try to book a flight at the airport to Hawaii, But Mark calls, well, shows up to let him know, yeah, you can't go there. The Canadian police are already there. They're waiting for you. But hey, we got this train over here. It's heading out west. Then we can get you on a boat to Honolulu. Alright, we'll get there. We'll get on the train. Cool. So we go to the train station, and of course the police thought of this idea too, because they're not stupid. But so they're at the train station looking for Luke, and so June and Nicole separate from Luke and get on the train. She gets on no problem, but Luke's like, oh shit, there ain't no way I can get on this damn train, so you're gonna have to go without me. And they ain't gonna leave this train. They're gonna let the train leave until they find me, so yeah, that's it. We're gonna have to find each other later. A heartfelt goodbye again, over the cell phone. Oh shit. June gets on the train, heads in there, and she hears another baby crying. And she says to Nicole, like, oh, there's another baby in here. Want to go find it? And she follows the baby crying. And she finds the baby and Serena. And they're on the train together. And that is the end of season 5. I mean, straight up. So, season 5, this show is definitely, like, it's running into the fear that I usually have of shows that go more than 5 seasons. Yes, it has gotten to the point, like, I feel like this should have been wrapped up by now, and it's still going. You know? Plus, I'm seeing the trope. I mean, no new powerful. We seem to have 2 new powerful commanders, and I mean, I kind of figured maybe they'd outlast this season because we do have one more we only have one more season to go. I just I definitely want to meet this top commander. I am still, see, this is one of my major things. All right, these male characters don't make sense, because there's no clear hierarchy, and men don't operate like that, especially like when we get together and form governments. It's very clear who's in charge of what, and we're very bureaucratic. That's what bureaucracy is. It's compartmentalizing things and going, you're in charge of this and you're in charge of that, and I'm in charge of all of you fucks. I don't know, like that's what I don't get. Maybe it's explained in the book or something, which, like I said, I am almost interested enough to maybe read the book. I also, it's recently come to my attention, there's a 1990s movie based on this. All I know is I saw a picture on Facebook of the movie cover, and I saw that I read a comment actually that said, like, oh yeah, this movie's from like the 90s, but it's about as good as it could be because it's 6 seasons like crammed into an hour-and-a-half movie. So, wow, I mean, I'm actually kind of interested to see what that is, but if it actually does follow all of everything, then I don't want to watch it until I'm done with the show. So I only got 1 season left anyways, and then I'll figure out where I can watch it for free. Oh boy, maybe that'll be the final Mansplanation. Maybe not the final one, because I'll probably end up watching the Testaments, because, I mean, I gotta admit, the story is good. It's very implausible. Okay? Like, straight up. This is not something that could happen, and it's not because, like, misogyny doesn't exist, or there aren't people out there trying to do this. No, this could not happen, alright? The United States would not fall in a manner that, like, if the United States dollar fell to zero, that would be a catastrophe for the world. Like, the rest of the world would come to our aid, and we'd be a little bit of a bitch at that point, definitely. But I mean, that's where it's really is, like, that everybody else on the planet is letting them get away with this. I don't know. But there's also what was the other thing that I wanted to bitch about that's doesn't really make any sense. I don't know, maybe it'll come to me. If you're listening to this on Spotify, good for you. I feel sorry for you if you were trying to watch it on Spotify, because the video is going to be cutting all over the place because I'm learning to edit out the ums and ahs, but I can't do that without cutting the video everywhere too. But I probably could, but actually I can kind of sort of already see how I would do that, but I'm not going to. I figure Spotify is more of a listener anyways. But alrighty then, I'll remember what the other thing I was going to say as soon as I finish this sentence, though. But I figure for right now, this will probably be it. Keep up to date with what's going on with your daily dose of dawn.